Welcome to Random and Memorable, a podcast from 1Password. I'm Matt Davey, 1Password's Chief Experience Officer.
I'm Sarah, one of the founders at 1Password.
I'm Rue, Head of Password Manager Development.
I'm Anna, the producer behind the show.
And we're the hosts behind Random and Memorable. Together, we offer up bi-weekly security advice, interview special guests from the cybersecurity community, and round up the latest security news in Watchtower Weekly. Plus, we may play a silly security game or two. So sit back and enjoy the show. I finally failed in trying to hold myself off from the Black Friday sales, and I bought a 3D printer.
Oh, what'd you get?
I got a Bamboo Labs P1S, PS1, something like that.
Yeah, I was really holding back. So I was a big 3D printer enthusiast.
Back when it was cool. Is that what you're about to say?
No, it's still cool. I have a Mandalorian helmet behind me that I completely 3D printed. I did D&D minis and everything. And I went real hardcore for like 3 years. And then my 3D printer, though, I got an Ender 3 back in the day. And if you're anything like cars, it was like the Honda Civic of printers. You can just throw all sorts of other stuff onto it and make it look cooler.
I like the fact that for me to understand your reference, you went to another reference that I wouldn't understand. I thought about the first thing that I'm going to print though, because it hasn't arrived just yet. I've only bought it. I haven't like set it up yet. But I think I'm going to print a Batman helmet for my cat.
that should fit.
What are you using to get the 3D scans? Like, how are you scanning your cat's head to understand how to model around it?
I measured him with a tape measure.
What? No.
What do you think I'm going to do? LiDAR the cat?
Yes, I think you're
right.
supposed to LiDAR the cat.
That's where I knew you were going. Have I LiDAR'd my cat? No.
Have you LiDAR'd your cat? Wade, please back me up here that Matt has done it wrong.
How do you get a cat to stand still so long to LiDAR it? No, you're totally right. Like, I would go somewhere in between. Like, you're definitely going to have to mess around with the measurements of the helmet to get it right.
And in between a tape measure and LiDAR.
Yeah. I feel like those are a string, and then you measure the string.
Okay.
I don't know.
No, tape measure is more advanced than string.
Oh, gosh. Are you using Fusion 3D to do modeling?
No.
What are you even doing?
I'm just going to download a Batman helmet for cats off my phone and then hit a button and print it and then stick it on the cat. Like, look, I haven't gotten into this yet, all right?
For someone who is so good at so many things, I am shocked at how badly you are showing up as a 3D printerist.
Right. I got really into pen plotters for a while and was making all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, those are beautiful.
But the moment that it started, like, being really irritating to, like, print 12 Christmas cards, and I'd have to get it out and do all that stuff and line it up, that's when I kind of gave up on it. And so I hope 3D printing is going to sustain me a little bit longer by being a bit more plug and play. But I realize I'm going to come back and, the podcast lives for infinity. And so someone's going to pull me up on that next time I have an episode and I talk about, oh yeah, I'm not doing 3D printing anymore.
Am I going to get one of these pen plotter cards before you got bored of it? Is that going to be my Christmas card this year?
It's already in the cupboard.
Oh,
I've got so much pen plotter stuff as well. The amount of cardstock and pens that I have is a lot.
3D printed Christmas ornaments are really easy. I did like 100.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. I printed them for my wife's entire company. So I did like a DNA and then just it probably took like 10 hours, I would say. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I have that much patience. There might be one though. An ornament sounds quite fun. I hadn't even thought about that. My main thing has been different kind of costumes that I could make for the cat.
The amount of useless plastic things is going to definitely increase at your house very quickly. I will give you that.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've also answered your earlier question, Matt, which is, do we need to fill 5 minutes or be capped at 5 minutes?
Yeah. I think we need to cap.
Yeah. And with 2/3 of us just going off on printers, clearly this needs to be capped. So, welcome to our first end of the year bonus episode. Many of the Random but Memorable hosts are off enjoying the holidays, but we've pre-recorded this episode to ensure you still have something random and hopefully memorable to enjoy. While our brains might have already gone into holiday mode, this is our chance to kick back, have a laugh, and play some cybersecurity themed party games before we all vanish into immense pie void. We don't do mince pies in the States, really. That's not a thing. Matt, what are we doing today? What's
don't do
on the
mince
docket?
pies?
Nah,
The
we don't
chicken
do
mince is the best one to do with a mince pie.
That's nice.
That joke went out to all the British people. None of them are on the call. It's minced fruit. It's not minced meat in a mince pie.
No, I understand. I do watch enough Bake Off to understand what a mince pie is. We just don't
watch
do
enough
them.
Bake Off.
I've seen Prue eat enough.
Sometimes Rue takes a little bit to get back to me because he has to look up in his dictionary of like references that Matt has made and come back to me. So instead of our usual format, we're going to be giving our 2 cents with a round of cybersecurity hot takes. Did we do this last year? I think we did this last year. It was quite fun last year as well.
Yeah.
We're also bringing back an old favorite, a game that I absolutely love and doesn't need a bot to beat Rue, which is really good. Do either of you have any suspicions or preference for what we will be playing?
Oh, God. Please don't be something that requires me to lose to Hirebot. Like, that would be the thing that I don't want today.
As long as it's not that like breach or not breach thing that I completely got wrong. Whereas like I felt like that should have been my like cup of tea. But
I love that this show's ability to create drama continues. Just new hosts experiencing new games that make them feel terrible is the best to me.
Okay, well, we will reveal which game it is at the end of the episode. Before that, Rue, let's get into some hot takes.
Yeah, let's dive into the hot takes. We've each brought a few spicy cybersecurity opinions to the table. I'd like to think that we do this every episode, though. But these are statements that'll divide group chats and start Slack debates. For each take, we want you to say whether you strongly agree, disagree, or strongly disagree. All right. Gosh, the first hot take. Oh, this old chestnut, everyone, get ready. Passwords will finally die in 2026.
I mean, absolute horseshit.
No, come on now.
Yeah, it's coming though. It is like, I will admit, every now and then I'm logging on to a new website and they're like, create a passkey for this. And I'm like, how do you guys have passkeys? Random website where I'm downloading 3D models, but not my bank. That's the real question. But I'm seeing passkeys a lot more out there. So I'm just slowly hoping everyone moves. Costco has passkeys to log in now. I was not expecting that.
But have they added them really? Or have they added them as a 2-factor?
They've added them really. You can add them. Oh, I think it is a 2-factor. You can add them in. Yeah, that's a good point.
So finally die. I mean, maybe you'll have fewer of them. And maybe you will have a lot more accounts that have like passkeys added onto them as a second thing, ready for someone to make the confident move of removing that password. The nice thing is that I'm seeing far fewer magic links.
Oh.
I absolutely hate the 6-digit that I have to get from my email, and I absolutely hate if I have to click a link in an email. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
I hope that dies before the password, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
No more SMSs. I'm good.
I had forgotten about the 2-factor implications of passkeys until this weekend. I was signing into my Apple developer account and it prompted me for my passkey. And so I one time I signed in, I used a passkey and it signed me right in. And then on a future sign in, I put in my password. And then I got the like, hold on, we're sending a notification out to all of your devices to give you the 6-digit code. And I was like, oh, right. Passkeys means I don't need to do this extra step. Oh, I like that a lot. So it's definitely, I think that once people start to realize the benefits of things like that, like we'll see more and more usage of it. But we're still at the infancy. Very much so.
It's so much easier using biometrics and passkeys. I will admit, like, working at 1Password, this is the first organization where I don't know my password. Like, I use biometrics or I use passkeys wherever I go. And it's so much easier for me to log in. Or, like, I'll be downstairs and a Slack message will come up and I'll have to run upstairs and hurry, just use a fingerprint to get in and reply. It's just great quality of life. But I think complaining about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right, as a regular password, like my parents still use it without a doubt on their home PC, but it's going to be around for a long time. Do you guys think AI will solve more cybersecurity problems than it'll cause next year?
Almost certainly not.
Yeah, no. No, absolutely not.
It might solve some, but the amount that it will cause is going to be wild. Just from the application sprawl alone. And I think like the ease of use is getting to the point where like it's just going to flood everywhere, not just like all of the places that tech people use. I was looking to buy insurance the other day, and they were obviously using an LLM to collect all of my details in the form and like give me some advice about stuff.
Oh my gosh.
I bet they're just using an API from somewhere. I bet it's not their own thing. I bet they're just passing it to a model and being like, well, kind of so what if it learns everything about, you know, when he needs insurance and that type of thing. No doubt the number of spam calls that I'll get will increase because someone's asked an LLM. The amount of sprawl and problems and everything like that, it's just going to be huge.
As a security professional, I will tell you it has solved more problems for me rather than create problems. Like I've seen a couple things arise where like they're just implemented incorrectly and have too many rights or are providing back information. That's probably not the best. But the amount of writing that I no longer have to do because of AI probably cuts my work in half, to tell you the truth.
Wow, okay.
Whether that be like playbooks or descriptions of things or even like tickets. Like I don't write my own tickets anymore. I have AI write them and it comes out with a complete format. So it's helped me a lot.
Is that a cybersecurity problem that it's solving, or is that a Wade problem that it's solving?
I'm going to say a Wade cybersecurity problem.
Okay.
It cuts down on my work so I can work cybersecurity more. But no, that's a good point. It probably is a Wade problem.
And I won't even get into telling you the amount of cybersecurity problems that I'm causing with AI.
I don't want to know, yeah.
Oh, God.
So AI is helping defenders more than ever. And it is something one of our guests, Simon Miller, also stressed in an earlier episode on our Black Friday special. It's definitely not just about the tech. It is about the people using it. So apparently a Wade problem is a cybersecurity problem. 50-50 chaos and innovation, probably in equal measure. So all right, it's time for my hot take, which is cyber insurance is making companies less secure.
No.
This is a big no for me.
No.
I think cyber insurance is the one thing that's making us all more secure. Without cyber, like if someone fails to get cyber insurance, they're under such amount of risk nowadays that they're trying to get back to it. So people are implementing all the MFA, antivirus, or anything just so they can get insurance. At least that's my take on it.
Yeah, this is the old, like, you know, to get car insurance, some people have to put a little thing in the front of their car so that when they speed, it increases the price of their car insurance. I think it's exactly the same for cyber insurance, right? Like you've got to do certain things to meet the bar, because that insurance company wants to insure you and will not if you don't have these things set. So I think it's actively making people more secure. I will say that ransomware insurance is probably a bit of a problem, but I wouldn't count that under like the general cyber insurance idea. I would kind of count that in its own little area. And I think like there's always going to be people that pay ransoms. I don't think that is promoting or not promoting it one way or the other.
I think that's more of a hot take than our original hot take that ransomware doesn't fall under cybersecurity. I can see how you argue about it.
I bet it's like a specialist insurance rather than like general cybersecurity insurance.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. It's the old, I've got car insurance. Now I'm not going to wear a seatbelt and drive like an idiot. Like that's not really what's happening here. It's going to be the opposite. Okay. I think that we should move on to some hot takes from our team inside 1Password, though. So the first one comes from Nick, who's on our customer content team, who said, magic links aren't as convenient as companies think they are.
I mean, I don't think that's a hot take. I think that is absolutely true.
I don't know.
It's an easy out. It's a terrible user experience because it assumes that you have your email on the same device as something else. Right?
Why is that a bad assumption?
Because people don't. I actually user tested this. It's a reason why some people use 6-digit codes and some people use URLs, like magic links to sign you in. It's because what I user tested is a bunch of people will, if you email them and tell them that you've emailed them, will get out their phone. Now, there's ways that you can do this, like, you know, they get out their phone, they click on the link and it goes, thank you. And then it's like, huh? And then you go back to the desktop and it's like, okay, now we've signed you in. That's confusing as well. Don't get me started on magic links. Absolute rubbish.
It's hard to argue with you.
I hate the ones that make you go back to an app as well. Like, it puts the emphasis on effort on the user.
It's hard to argue with you when you've brought data. So I'll let Wade answer here.
I tell you one more tiny little tidbit. Do you know what we do? Because we do this. We verify people's emails. We send them back to the email. If you are on desktop, we will send you a code. And if you are on mobile, we will send you a link.
That's pretty smart.
Because the action makes people... Now, I say that. I bet we've changed it since I worked on that project. But when we implemented it, that's what we needed to do. Because on desktop, people would be like, oh, let me take out my phone and look at my email. And then it was click a link. And then we would take them from the desktop where they were setting up 1Password and make them use the phone for it. Ah, rough. Sorry. Go on, Wade. I'll get down from this imaginary soapbox.
He's so angry.
No, I get it. I'm trying to think when's the last time I got a magic link, to tell you the truth. Like, I think you're right. They're definitely going out. Like, the 6-digit code or whatever, how many codes, those are always like blowing up my phone just because I do finance, all my finances on the same day. So by the end of it, I have like 11 emails and text messages with codes. And I think I'd rather the codes than the link because they feel more secure almost. Like, the magic links are technically like they have a time to live, right? And they are obscured, but they're still like randomly out there. I'm thinking of this as a tinfoil hat wearing security professional, right? Which one is harder to get? But I think you're absolutely right. They're definitely less convenient and they're not fun. I never thought about it from the user's perspective, though. You've converted me 100 to 100%.
It's interesting because I didn't even consider that. Of course, they would kind of like, they would live out there in a weird place of potentially people being able to do something with them for a little while.
Yeah, I've never heard that happening in an attack, to tell you the truth. Like, security through obscurity isn't security at the end of the day, but with the time to live and to be able to get through to understand how those links are being created, it's a lot of effort where it's probably much more, you send it to the user and hopefully they just click something rather than try to find that. But yeah.
I think there's the other problem as well, which is like you're emailing someone and telling them to click a link. That's probably not the best practice as well.
I almost think a phone is technically more secure because here's my logic behind that. If an attacker is on someone's computer, they most likely have access to their email, right? And then they click the link, then they just go to the email and then click the link. But if you do it to a phone, that then creates the MFA of having something I own. So then they either have to compromise the phone or compromise their phone number through a text message. So security isn't always the quickest path or the nicest path. You got to find your equal balance. All right. Enough about magic links. I think we're all agreed. Our next team hot take is actually from Blake, who says, if your product or website makes me solve a CAPTCHA to log in, that's not security. That's a punishment.
Yes.
Have you done some really fun ones, though?
Yes.
I feel like in the age of AI, they're getting like really advanced and really weird. How many Frenchmen on bicycles with onions can you find in this image? Like, and there's so many that I'm like, I had to count the frogs the other day, and there was a lizard in the image. I'm like, I am training AI here. Like, I'm definitely training it, and it's nothing to do with anything else other than me choosing whether this is a frog or whether it's a lizard. Come on.
Yeah, it's not good. They're not good. They're just a punishment. I completely agree. It's work. Like, I'm having to do work. I don't want to do work. Just get out of my way. This is one of those things that makes me ask, what problem is this really solving at this point?
Yeah, I always wonder that. Surely if in the world of agentic browsers and that type of thing, agentic browsers could probably solve this thing, right?
That's what I was trying to think, right? So a majority of CAPTCHA is trying to prevent brute force attacks or just people hitting the website over and over again. I've definitely seen code out there that can easily bypass a lot of them, and I would imagine the agentic browsers could do it. But then again, like, I don't know if they can count frogs and lizards. So I think it's a good test.
I bet there's a YouTube channel of exactly that, of an agentic browser just for 10 hours straight solving CAPTCHA problems. I'm going to go and look.
I will admit, when I learned that most of those CAPTCHAs were you training AI, like, the spot the cars or the buses and stuff like that. Definitely felt a little betrayed.
Oh yeah,
Like, I was like, this whole time.
I had one before, and it was like, which lane should this bus go into? And it was like the bus was indicating left, and so I had to pick the. I'm like, what am I doing here? How is that? I don't know that.
That's amazing.
Okay, Blake had another one for us, which is the riskiest button on the internet has always been and still is download. I'd argue perhaps not, because I am the most cautious around the button that says download, because 9 times out of 10, if I click on that, it's probably an advert.
I will give them half the download buttons that you click, especially maliciously, don't say download. But I will give it to you. They do download something, so I think that still counts.
I think the riskiest thing on the internet is trying to find lyrics to a song. Like, I bet like 9 times out of 10, sorry, the half of the East Coast went down, all of this infrastructure. What was the person doing? Well, they were getting lyrics to a cowboy ballad.
Man, you don't hear a lot of cross sites, so I'm thinking the download thing is like a security perspective. You don't see a lot of other attacks. Almost everything involves downloading something at the end of the day. Downloading something to run a macro or something to then compromise something else. But every now and then it's someone just providing some passwords. So I'll say it's 50-50. I could understand it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like it's that risky anymore. The risk to me is it comes from the site that you're on. Like, maybe I just don't download a lot of stuff anymore. Or if I do, like, I'm downloading it from known places. I'm not off on some weird backwater forum downloading some tool to convert MP4s to GIFs. Like, that's not a thing that I do. So, I don't know. For me, it's like, this is a non-issue.
I don't know how Rue uses the internet without some weird backwater website changing stuff into GIFs.
Screen to GIF. Look it up. It's safe, I promise.
Oh, man. All right. Well, with that all in mind, thank you, Matthew. We have another hot take from Peter, who's on our community team, who says that VPNs mostly don't enhance security.
I don't think that's a hot take either. Would you call that a hot take? I'd be like, no, they absolutely don't. You're just going through someone else's computer rather than going through the ISP.
VPNs are just using someone else's computer.
Unless you run it yourself, or unless it comes from a company, like the company that you work for. Absolutely isn't.
I will disagree with this. VPNs do enhance security, but from a corporate perspective. So, like, you're very much right. If you're an end user, you're downloading one of these third-party VPNs, all your traffic's just routing through them. Maybe you're using some crazy ones out there that actually threat actors use, right? You'll actually get blocked from certain parts of the websites or the internet because of your use of VPNs. From a corporate perspective, the VPN, though, is very important to have, not just because it's encrypting your traffic from your computer to your corporate network, but so the security professionals can actually see the network traffic and understand what your computer's doing most of the time. There's a couple different applications that do this, but VPN traffic is probably it's worth its weight in gold sometimes when tracking down threat actors and looking for interesting network connections in and out of the network, right? To also give you a little bit of overview, there are certain, like I said, there's certain VPNs. One of them is called Astral VPN that is highly used by North Korean threat actors. So we have detections, and I talk to people out there that just look for Astral VPN connections, and we know that they're a threat actor. So I would say VPNs don't just enhance your security, but they also help us track other people as well.
You've given it away now. We might be the number one podcast in North Korea. You don't know.
All right. So our final hot take comes from Sanjeev, who says cybersecurity New Year's resolutions never last past January.
I don't think any New Year's resolutions last past January. You get to the end of the year and all of that kind of thing. I'm looking through mine, and I didn't do any of them. I was apparently going to go to the gym 50 times at the beginning of the year. Yeah. I did not go at all this year. Yeah. So, I did it in December last year, and I was like, right, that's a great idea. I'll do that every week. I went 0 times. And I think cybersecurity probably is very similar. Like, you do that thing where you're like, I'm going to spring clean. I'm going to keep my office really clean. I'm just going to do that like I keep my passwords and my documents and like all this stuff. I'm going to implement all of these things. Nah, February comes along. I'd bet they last as long as everything else. I feel like I came into this with some negative energy and maybe some guilt for not going to the gym.
You really did.
I'm definitely trying to think past resolutions that I did not succeed on. And the gym one is definitely one. I had one with like a security home lab where I was trying to implement a VPN into my house. So then all the traffic was mine. But that didn't happen. That was too much work.
As the optimist in the group, I want to believe that this one is bunk. I think that people set good practices up at the beginning of the year that carry them throughout, and that 1Password as a tool helps them be successful in a way that is meaningful and doesn't make them look back and go, well, that didn't work out for me.
I mean, that's probably true. I think probably we have an internal higher bar of security of just like, oh, these random DNS things that keep on spurting out of my washing machine. Like, I should probably deal with that. But like, passwords as a basic is I think that's an easy one to knock off. I don't think anybody's making that as a New Year's resolution, are they?
Maybe.
They might be.
It depends on if you got breached or not, I think.
Oh, that is very true.
Okay, yeah. Then the insurance companies are coming after you too. So
anyhow, I'm not sure who won those debates or if any of it actually matters, but I think we can definitely help you with those New Year's resolutions, because on our next bonus holiday episode, we're going to be unpacking the cybersecurity resolutions and easy wins you can make to kick off 2026 feeling fresh and more secure. So definitely keep an eye out for that one. Plus, we would love to hear your cybersecurity resolutions. Let us know by emailing podcast@onepassword.com, and we might just read them out on the next episode. You can also let us know in the comments whether you agree or disagree with these hot takes.
I think you should just send us your New Year's resolutions regardless, and we might review them anyway.
I like that. Have people give us their resolutions, and we can go, no.
Yeah, no,
yes,
that's a terrible one.
Garbage. Yeah.
Okay,
I think
so
that's the way to go.
That is enough debating for one round. Shall we move on to some Ask 1Password? Today, we have a question and possibly even a hot take from one of our listeners, Derek, who says, "Hi, lovely people at Random but Memorable. I love the podcast and all the people who create it." That's an assumption there. He might not know some of the people. They might be awful. They are, in fact, all lovely. But there we go. I have a question that I think many listeners might be interested in the answer. How much more secure can your iPhone be made with a complex passcode? I understand why longer passcodes are more secure for websites and many other situations. I always use 1Password with a 20-digit random passcode if the website will accept that length. But isn't the iPhone a special case? Apple says that after 5 errors when entering a passcode on an iPhone, the iPhone will disable for a while. With additional failures, the lockout period gets longer, and soon the phone will be locked out until the owner does a complex reset. So if this information is true, it seems like a brute force attack is impossible on an iPhone. And with that, using 7 characters instead of 6 wouldn't have any real effect on actual security. Is there something missing from this analysis? Is there a way for someone who finds or steals my iPhone to get around Apple's lockout after a few passcode errors? Is there a method for a thief to enter thousands of passcodes per second in a brute force attack? I hope this question will be interesting enough to include on the podcast. It absolutely was. And if this question is answered accurately somewhere on the 1Password website or somewhere else, I would be grateful if you would send me the link. I think this is a fascinating one. I know some things, but I don't know that much about it.
You guys are going to have to educate me. So I'm an Android user and have been for a very long time. Is that the default security for iPhones is to lock out, or do you have to turn that on?
No, it's the default.
That's the default.
It's a default? Okay. I think he's absolutely right from a security perspective. There are tools to go out there that which you would immediately plug an iPhone into that could brute force it. But with that lockout, right, it's never going to work. The majority of the time when you see people stealing iPhones, they're usually waiting until you unlock it, then they grab it and run, and then they change it while you have it. And they're also sometimes they're actually looking over your shoulder and looking to see what your passcode is, so then they can unlock it. The majority, though, if someone just steals your iPhone, it's already locked. They're not going to be able to do much with it. Now, if it's like a nation state or actual police, there is software out there that uses vulnerabilities built into the phones to unlock them and retrieve the data.
The police definitely have tools, but it's not software where they can just like get in. It is still brute force software, which is kind of fascinating. That like if there's going to be a loophole, why not make it a proper loophole and license the software to law enforcement? But I'm sure there are many cultural and political reasons of why not to do that. It's weird. When it was 4 digits, it did feel insecure.
Yeah, it sure did.
And I wonder whether that's kind of like part of the thing is like Apple isn't upping the number. It didn't used to be 6 and now it's 7 and then it's 8. I wonder whether it's like we are doing the minimum that we think people can stomach, but the kind of maximum that feels secure.
Yeah. I think that the more complex, I think it's like any other cryptography, the more complex the input in terms of password or passcode, the stronger the encryption. It must be true. But in terms of like, is it something that I would recommend? I don't think I would recommend it. But again, it all depends on like your personal threat model, right? Like this is the thing that we've talked about a decent amount on this show here and there, is that like everyone has their own personal threat model, and what mine is not what yours is, and so, or what others is. And so like that's something you sort of have to understand for yourself. And so if you are traveling to nations that may be considered aggressors against your home nation state, then yeah, maybe the extra burden of typing in a long password is worth it.
I think actually, if you've got a 20-digit passcode, most likely thing is going to happen is you're going to forget it. Like 20-digit passcode is wild.
That is pretty long.
Well, hold on now. Isn't it like 6-digit passcode and then
you can have an alphanumeric, right? You can have
it's alphanumeric. So you could do a random but memorable passcode.
Yeah.
Password.
I like that.
Yeah.
Perfect. I think we've answered this. And well. Good job. Remember, if you've got a question for us, you can send a voice note or an email to podcast@onepassword.com or leave a comment on our forum, onepassword.community.
All right, let's conclude today's show with something a little sillier. It's time for the return of What the Phrase. Matt, I think this is the first game that we ever played on the podcast. Can you cast your mind back to the origins of this show, to the recording that we did before episode 1, and share with the people what we have here?
I think the fascinating thing here is that I can't believe we were allowed to play this game because it's such a tenuous link to passwords. But yeah, this is a glorious return of an old favourite from the Random and Memorable Archives. For anybody new to the show, What the Phrase is our international idiom guessing game. We share a phrase from somewhere around the world and have to guess what it really means. If it helps, you can think of these as idioms as really out there security questions. They're usually pretty funny, profound, or plain bizarre. So let's see how many we can get right. Okay. The first one is to draw a snake and add legs. What does that mean?
Maybe to like want something that you can't have.
No.
I forgot that you.
I didn't realize you had the answers.
You're just gonna tell him right away.
We're not just gonna like ruse about this for like for like half an hour. Just
to draw a snake and add legs. It means to do something. To do something meaningless. To do something that has no basis in reality.
Man, how did you know that?
It is to ruin something by adding unnecessary details, something superfluous or going to an extreme. So
very nice.
I feel like I'm about to lose this pretty bad.
Okay, the next one is from Sweden. Now the boiled pork is fried.
What do the happy people of Sweden? What are they trying to say here?
I'm always saying this one. And now the boiled pork is absolutely fried.
I'm going to start trying to use these in everyday conversations with people. Maybe this is you overdid something again?
No.
I don't know. Like you did it twice? No? Okay.
I'm not answering because I want Wade to go first because I enjoy having Matt tell him no. This is when you have done something that creates an outcome different from what was intended.
No.
Oh, damn it.
That was good. That was a good question. I thought that was the answer for sure.
You are both wrong, and now the boiled pork is fried. It's something that has gone terribly wrong, a big problem has occurred, or a situation that has escalated beyond repair, often humorously to signal an impending disaster or major mishap. So there we go. Okay.
Wow.
Number 3, a Dutch idiom to fall with the door into the house.
To come across something too strongly?
Oh, kind of.
Oh, I'll take it. I'll take that as a win for me.
Oh, I think I'm going to give you that one.
Yeah.
To fall with the door into the house?
Yes, that one. Okay, I'm going to take Wade's answer because it is to get straight to the point, bypassing small talk, often by blurting out something unexpected or blunt. It is an idiom for being very direct and jumping straight at the core of a topic without preamble.
Interesting. I like it.
Do the Dutch need an idiom for that, or is it just kind of built in?
I think it's just built in. That's just how we roll. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
The final one is from Germany, and oh god, we're hitting all the stereotypes today, aren't we? This is sausage to me.
I mean, I think it's just that something is really
Das
good.
ist mir
Something is
Wurst.
overly tasty.
Yeah, there you go.
This is sausage to me.
I'm just thinking like a sausage. You have no clue how it's made, but you just eat it anyway. Like, how do I say that into words?
It's close, you know.
Yeah.
It's. I'm indifferent to this. This is sausage to me. I don't care. I'm indifferent. The expression comes from the idea that both ends of a sausage are the same.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So not the fact that you don't care where the meat comes from, but that both ends of the sausage are the same, implying that there is no difference between the two options. So this is sausage to me.
Fantastic.
I wouldn't say use that one in a general. I think that one will get like a huh more than the others, perhaps.
Sausage to me. Listen, I just want to fall with the door into the house with this conversation. That's good. It's good.
Some sausage to me.
What you've done here is you've drawn a snake and you added legs. This is how I'm going to give
It really
feedback.
sounds like you've done something that's a rubbish, not something like that is a huge mistake. It sounds like it's just a bad drawing of a snake.
Right. It sounds like something my dad would say to me. That's why I'm like, okay, what?
Oh, man. That's too funny. I love it. Well, what a perfect note to end an episode of Random But Memorable on. I think that's all for our festive bonus episode today. A huge thank you if you stuck with us till the end and for choosing to spend part of your holiday with us. Maybe you listened to this while you were baking cookies or wrapping presents or just walking around the block to get away from your family for a little while. If you know someone who would find any of our hot takes on this episode interesting, then please do share it with them. And don't forget, we'll be back in 2 weeks' time with that New Year's Cybersecurity Resolutions bonus episode, plus another game resurrected from the Random But Memorable archives. Until then, stay safe and enjoy the holidays.
Thank you so much for tuning in this week. If you're enjoying the show, we'd love it if you could subscribe on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you're listening to your podcasts. You can also leave us a rating or review. It's one of the best ways to support the Random But Memorable podcast, and we always love to hear your feedback. We're also a community-led podcast, so if you have any questions for us, a topic request, or even a guest you want to hear from, please send us a message to podcast@onepassword.com or leave a comment on the 1Password community. We read all your comments and look forward to hearing from you. We hope you join us next episode for plenty more random moments in the world of cybersecurity.